Imagine, if you will, a gentle morning unfolding, not with the familiar blaze of the brilliant sun, but with a light quite different, a soft, muted glow. You begin to stir, slowly, deeply, as you awaken within the familiar confines of your small, cool, warm home. Beneath you, the straw mattress yields gently, its dry stalks whispering a soft, rustling sound with each subtle shift of your body. It's a sound that has become a quiet companion to your sleep, a consistent, unhurried rhythm in the stillness of the early hour. Perhaps a tiny piece of straw, light and brittle, might momentarily prick your skin, a fleeting, almost imperceptible sensation that you've learned to simply acknowledge and then let fade, as you have countless times before. The scent of dried straw, earthy and faintly sweet, rises around you, a grounding aroma that has been a part of your waking life for as long as you can remember. You can feel the distinct texture of the rough-spun linen sheet against your skin, a coarse but comforting embrace, warmed by the lingering heat of your body. A warmth that slowly dissipates as the cool morning air begins to assert its gentle presence. Your eyelids feel heavy, a pleasant weight after a night of deep slumber. And when they slowly flutter open, the soft light that greets them is not at all harsh, but rather a comforting, diffused presence, a gentle invitation to simply observe. The dawn, as you've always known it, typically paints the wooden shutters of your one-room house with a warm, golden hue, a gentle invitation to begin the day. The sunlight, usually so bright and eager, would filter through the narrow cracks between the wooden slats, creating dancing patterns of light and shadow on the packed earth floor. These patterns would shift and grow with the sun's ascent, a silent clock marking the progress of the morning, a reliable measure of time. But this morning, there's a subtle difference in the air, a certain quietness that hints at something new, something that invites a slower pace. The rooster has already offered his usual robust morning call, a sound you can hear clearly even through the solid wood of your home. Its crow a sharp, familiar punctuation in the stillness that seems to hang heavy in the air, echoing just a little longer than usual, then fading into the quiet. Yet, the expected burst of light, the vibrant yellow and orange that usually follows his announcement, seems to be holding back, lingering somewhere just beyond the wooden panels. It's not dark, not entirely, but the quality of the light feels muted, softened, as if the very air outside has become a gentle veil, diffusing the world into shades of gray and an unexpected, delicate blue. You feel a calm curiosity, a quiet awareness of this subtle deviation from the expected, a gentle pull towards the window. The room, usually bathed in growing daylight by now, remains in a soft, perpetual twilight, a soft blue-gray filtering through the small gaps where the shutters meet, painting the interior with hushed tones. The familiar shapes of the few pieces of furniture, a sturdy wooden table, a low stool where your mother grinds grain, a clay pot by the hearth, are rendered in muted tones, their edges softened by the diffused illumination, lending an almost dreamlike quality to your everyday surroundings, a quiet, ethereal beauty. You can hear the distant, almost muffled sounds of the village slowly stirring. Perhaps a dog barking once, its sound carrying further in the unusual quiet, or the low murmur of voices from a nearby dwelling, all softened and indistinct, like whispers carried on a gentle breeze that barely stirs the leaves outside. There is no urgency in these sounds, just a gentle unfolding, a slow awakening of the world outside your door, as if everyone is moving with an unspoken agreement to cherish the quiet. As you slowly stretch, your muscles unfurl, unhurriedly preparing for the day, a process of gradual release from the embrace of sleep, a mindful connection to your own body. You might reach out and touch the cool, smooth surface of the wooden wall beside your bed, feeling the grain beneath your fingertips, the solid ancient presence of your home, a sense of grounding and permanence. The air in the room, though warmed by the bodies within, still holds a hint of the outside coolness, a fresh breath that enters through the small cracks, a reminder of the vast, open world beyond these familiar walls. You listen intently, perhaps for the gentle patter of rain, or the whisper of wind rustling through the leaves of the old oak tree just outside, its branches, usually swaying, now seem to hold still in the quiet, as if suspended. But there is only a profound quiet, deeper than usual, a stillness that seems to absorb all other sounds, making the silence itself feel like a presence. This quietness is not unsettling, but rather, it invites a deeper sense of introspection, a gentle drawing inward before the day truly begins. You take a slow, deep breath, feeling your chest rise and fall, the rhythmic pulse of your own life a calming presence in the quiet room. The very air you breathe seems to carry a different weight, a subtle hush that encourages reflection rather than haste, a sense of patient waiting, as if the world is holding its breath alongside you. This stillness is a blanket, wrapping around you, inviting a peaceful contemplation of the world's quiet beginning, a hushed anticipation of what the unusual light might reveal. You might even catch the faint, lingering scent of last night's embers, a ghost of warmth that subtly perfumes the air, adding another layer to the quiet sensory experience of waking, a comforting aroma that anchors you to this moment. As you slowly rise from your straw bed, the air around you feels cool, a crispness that gently touches your skin, raising a fine goosebump or two, a subtle reminder of the morning's chill that brings a pleasant alertness. You notice your father already standing by the single door, his silhouette framed against the faint light filtering in from outside, a stoic figure in the quiet room. He isn't rushing, isn't bustling with the usual morning vigor, the quick movements of a man preparing for a long day of labor in the fields, but rather seems to be observing something deeply. Instead, he simply stands, looking out, his posture one of quiet observation. There's a subtle thoughtfulness on his face, a calm contemplation that isn't quite confusion, but rather a deep, unhurried consideration of the scene beyond, as if taking in every minute detail of the newly presented world. His back is to you, broad and solid in his rough homespun tunic, a familiar, comforting sight, its coarse weave a tactile memory from countless embraces, providing a sense of sturdy reliability and protection. You can almost feel the texture of the thick, woven cloth as you imagine it. Humble yet strong, a testament to the simple, honest crafts of your people, passed down through generations, each thread imbued with history. The silence between your parents, though unusual for a morning, is not one of tension but of shared, quiet contemplation, a deep understanding passing between them without words, a bond forged in years of shared labors and quiet moments of observation. It's a comfortable silence, filled with unspoken wisdom, a testament to their long companionship. From the center of the room, you can hear the soft, rhythmic sounds of your mother tending to the small fire that warms your home. The gentle crackle of kindling catching, a series of tiny, crisp sounds that blend into a soothing melody, followed by the low, steady hum of embers as they glow orange, casting a flickering, warm light that dances on the surrounding walls. These are the reassuring sounds that have always marked the true start of your day, a symphony of domestic comfort that grounds you in the present moment, a melody that lulls you deeper into relaxation. A thin plume of smoke begins to curl upwards, gracefully finding its way through the modest hole in the thatched roof, a design passed down through generations, simple yet effective, allowing the gentle escape of the fire's breath into the wider world. The scent of wood smoke, earthy and comforting, slowly diffuses through the air, carrying with it a sense of warmth and security that fills the small space, intertwining with the faint smell of dried herbs hanging from the rafters, creating a unique and comforting aroma. It's a familiar aroma, one that speaks of home and routine, of sustenance and gathering, a fragrant memory of all the meals shared around this very hearth, of countless evenings spent in its quiet, comforting glow. You can almost feel the gentle heat radiating from the hearth, a steady, unwavering warmth in the cool room, a focal point around which the family's morning quietly revolves, drawing everyone subtly towards its comforting embrace, a silent magnet of warmth and togetherness. Your mother's movements are economical, practiced, each motion of adding a new twig or stirring the coals a testament to years of quiet, diligent effort, a graceful dance of efficiency born from necessity and deep understanding of her craft, movements so familiar they could be performed in the deepest twilight. The small pot simmering gently over the flames begins to release a faint, promising scent of boiling water, perhaps for the morning's bitter grain tea, a simple but vital ritual that begins each day, a quiet promise of warmth from within. The gentle bubbling sound is a soft counterpoint to the crackling fire, a subtle auditory texture in the stillness, adding to the layers of calm, a small, rhythmic whisper. When you quietly step outside with your parents, the sky above reveals itself in an unexpected hue. It's not the vibrant blue of a clear morning nor the dramatic gray of an approaching storm, but rather a deep, soft azure, a color that seems to have absorbed the brilliance of the sun, tempering it into a pervasive, gentle glow. The sun itself, a dim, distant disk of pale blue, hangs serenely, suspended high above, its edges softened and diffused by what feels like an invisible veil in the upper atmosphere. A cosmic whisper that drapes the world in a new light. Its light is so subdued, so ethereal, that it casts no shadows. No long, stretching forms dance on the ground. Every object, every person exists in a flat, uniform illumination. A curious absence of definition that makes the world feel strangely two-dimensional, like a faded painting from a forgotten dream. It's a striking stillness, a visual quietness that allows your eyes to adjust to this new, softened world, finding beauty in its muted tones and subtle shifts. A silent invitation to see differently. The air around you feels notably cool, a steady chill that settles lightly on your skin, distinct from the expected warmth of a March spring, yet not biting or harsh, merely present, a gentle, consistent embrace. You can see the faint mist of your own breath as it escapes, a tiny ephemeral cloud that dances for a brief moment in the calm air, then vanishes as quickly as it appeared, a fleeting testament to your presence in this quiet world. This coolness, though unexpected, is not unpleasant, but rather a constant, gentle presence, a reminder of the subtle changes unfolding around you, a persistent quiet hum in the atmosphere that encourages slow, deliberate movements and deep breaths. The entire village is awakening, much like your own family. One by one, people emerge from their humble homes, their faces lifted upward, calmly observing the altered sky, their expressions thoughtful rather than fearful, reflecting a shared, quiet wonder. There is a profound stillness that has settled over the landscape, a hush that seems to dampen all other sounds, making every movement, every whisper more significant, each rustle of fabric or shift of weight resonating in the deep quiet. You notice the absence of the usual symphony of morning birdsong. Their cheerful chirps are nowhere to be heard, as if they, too, are listening to the quiet of the sky, waiting patiently for a signal. Even the insects, typically buzzing and rustling in the morning light, seem to be holding their breath, contributing to an unusual overarching quiet that feels almost sacred, a shared moment of silent contemplation among all living things. It's a profound silence that allows you to hear the subtle sounds of the world more clearly. The gentle rustle of fabric as someone adjusts their shawl. The soft tread of feet on the dirt path as a neighbor steps out. The distant muffled calls of other villagers exchanging quiet greetings. Their voices hushed, respectful of the pervasive stillness, like murmurs in a great library. Everything moves with a measured slowness, a quiet acceptance of this different, yet calm, beginning. A collective rhythm that flows effortlessly. You can feel the cool, dry earth beneath your bare feet, a familiar sensation that grounds you in this new reality, connecting you to the very foundation of your existence, to the ancient rhythms of the land, a deep, comforting connection. The communal well, usually a hub of early morning chatter and the creak of the rope, stands in a hushed stillness, only the occasional clinking of a bucket breaking the deep quiet, a small sound that echoes in the vast silence, then fades away, leaving the quiet once more. It is a moment of shared experience, a quiet collective breathing in of a world subtly yet profoundly transformed, a tranquil scene under the soft blue gaze of the sky. The very air itself seems to carry a different weight, a softness that invites slow, deliberate movements and quiet reflection, as if the world has taken a collective, unhurried breath, settling into a new, gentle rhythm. This peaceful beginning, though unusual, is simply a new way for the world to awaken, and you are a part of its quiet unfolding. As the soft azure light deepens slightly, settling more firmly into the atmosphere, you begin to perceive a permeating chill that spreads through the air. This sensation is more pronounced than the gentle coolness which simply greeted your awakening. It is a quiet, encompassing cold, distinct from the sharp, biting frost of winter that would numb your fingertips and make your bones ache. Instead, this chill is subtle yet undeniable, settling into the very fibers of your rough-spun clothes and filtering through the narrow gaps between the floorboards. A quiet whisper around the window frames. While unexpected for a March morning, a time when the first warmth of spring typically begins to unfurl, this particular coolness brings with it a peculiar stillness. It lends an almost crystalline clarity to the air, quieting even the faintest sounds, making distant rustles surprisingly distinct, yet still gentle. You instinctively pull your homespun tunic a little tighter around your shoulders, feeling the rough, familiar weave against your skin. This comforting weight offers a small, personal pocket of warmth, a tiny island of heat against the pervasive coolness. You can almost feel the faint mist of your own breath, a tiny, ephemeral cloud that dances for a brief moment in the calm air before gracefully dissolving, a fleeting testament to your presence in this quiet, altered world. A visible, gentle sigh, the cold, rather than being uncomfortable or harsh, encourages a slower, more deliberate pace, a mindful appreciation for warmth wherever it can be found, from the glowing embers in the hearth to the shared warmth of a family gathered close. You find your movements becoming more economical, each step carefully placed, each task approached with a quiet deliberation, as if the very air suggests a more unhurried rhythm, a gentle invitation to slow down. The daily routine of preparing your morning meal begins with a slow, deliberate rhythm, each action considered, unhurried, as if measured by the diffused light that seems to extend the morning indefinitely. Your mother moves gracefully around the hearth, her bare feet silent on the packed earth floor, a soft, almost imperceptible whisper accompanying her movements. She carefully tends to the fire, adding small, dry twigs one by one, watching as they catch and glow with a soft, orange light. Tiny sparks, like miniature, fleeting stars, dance upwards into the smoke hole, the familiar scent of wood smoke, now mingled with the subtle aroma of grains being toasted over the gentle heat, fills the small room. It's a grounding presence that speaks of sustenance and warmth, a fragrance that has marked countless mornings in your life, a comforting anchor in the changing world. You watch as she meticulously grinds the hard grain, the rhythmic thump-thump-thump of the pestle in the mortar, a soothing, repetitive sound that lulls the mind, a steady, hypnotic beat in the profound quiet. It's a humble meal, one that has sustained your family for generations, and its preparation is a ritual in itself, a quiet act of care and provision, a meditation in motion. You can hear the soft, almost imperceptible scrape of a wooden spoon against the inside of a clay bowl as she stirs the water into the ground grain, forming a thick, uniform paste, a sound so subtle it might almost be imagined, blending seamlessly into the ambient stillness. The sound is gentle, consistent, a soft counterpoint to the quietness outside, a reassuring echo of daily life, a small, familiar comfort. The air is still, yet filled with these tiny sounds, each one adding to the peaceful tapestry of the morning, weaving together to create a calming soundscape. You might feel a gentle pull towards the warmth of the fire, the subtle heat against your cheeks, as you sit quietly, observing the timeless dance of domesticity, a reassuring sense of being exactly where you are meant to be. As the morning progresses, even the animals seem to sense the unusual shift in the world, their instincts finely tuned to the subtle changes around them, a quiet wisdom guiding their actions. You observe a chicken, usually bold and inquisitive, now retreating timidly back into its coop after only a brief venture outside, its hurried steps kicking up small puffs of dust that quickly settle in the still air. Its feathers are ruffled slightly against the chill, and its movements are hesitant, as if it finds the open air under the azure sky strangely disorienting, its usual confident strut replaced by a cautious sidle. It pecks once or twice at the ground near the coop entrance, a perfunctory motion, then quickly scurries back into the dimly lit shelter, seeking the familiar warmth and safety of the enclosed space, a quiet retreat from the unfamiliar light. You notice how the other barnyard animals, the few geese waddling slowly and a lone goat quietly chewing its cud, also remain closer to their shelters than usual. Their typically restless movements are replaced by a quiet watchfulness, their heads held high, listening intently to the unusual silence. Their low, contented murmurs are softer than usual, a gentle, almost meditative sound in the pervasive stillness, blending with the rustle of straw as they shift their weight, creating a subtle symphony of natural peace. It's as if every living creature, from the smallest insect to the largest domestic animal, is acutely aware of the subtle, yet profound changes in the air and light, reacting with an innate wisdom that speaks of harmony with nature. This shared understanding, this quiet acceptance of the new conditions, weaves a sense of collective peace through the entire village, a shared calm among all beings, a quiet acknowledgement of the world's transformation. You can hear the soft rustle of their straw bedding as they shift, a comforting, natural sound that blends with the quiet hum of the day, a constant, gentle background against the deep silence. The world outside feels held, suspended in a quiet waiting, and the animals, in their humble wisdom, reflect this perfectly, embodying the stillness of the moment. Now, let your mind drift towards the sky itself, a vast, gentle expanse above your small village, stretching infinitely in every direction, boundless and serene. You look up, and your eyes meet not the blinding brilliance of a familiar sun, but a sight that is both profound and serenely beautiful, a disk of light, distinctly blue, almost like a polished sapphire, hanging serenely in the heavens, a jewel set against a canvas of deeper azure, radiating a quiet, otherworldly glow. It is a pale, ethereal blue, not the vibrant, deep blue of the ocean, but a softer, almost milky hue, diffusing its light evenly across the landscape, wrapping everything in a veil of gentle color. This unusual blue light bathes everything in a monochromatic glow, softening the edges of the world, making the distant hills appear as if painted in layers of gentle blue, fading into the horizon with a dreamlike quality, their forms softened and indistinct. The trees, too, take on a different aspect, their leaves muted green blues, their branches etched in softer outlines against the pale sky, as if drawn with a delicate, unseen hand. The clouds are also transformed. They are no longer brilliant white or stormy gray, but faint, wispy forms, barely discernible against the blue expanse, like brushstrokes of a slightly deeper blue on a vast, serene canvas, moving with an almost imperceptible slowness, dissolving into the endless blue. This light carries a certain ancient stillness, a timeless quality that seems to stretch back to the very beginning of the world, before distinct colors or sharp contrasts existed. A primeval calm. You feel no discomfort looking at this sun. Its gentle glow invites contemplation rather than requiring you to avert your gaze, allowing you to gaze directly into its soft, unblinking heart. It is a presence that feels both immense and intimately close, encompassing everything in its gentle embrace, a silent, pervasive presence. As you stand beneath this ethereal light, you become aware of a most curious phenomenon, one that subtly rearranges your perception of the world, making it appear both familiar and utterly new, the absence of shadows. Look around you, at your own feet, at the sturdy oak tree that has stood for generations, its gnarled trunk now featureless under the diffused light. Look at the humble structures of your village, the walls of the homes, the fences that delineate properties, the rough textures of stone and wood. There are no long stretching forms dancing on the ground, no sharp outlines clinging to the base of objects, no deep pools of darkness where light cannot reach. Everything exists in a flat, uniform illumination, as if all depth has been gently smoothed away by an unseen hand, creating a curious lack of dimension. The world takes on an almost two-dimensional quality, like a faded painting from a forgotten dream, or an ancient tapestry where figures and landscapes are woven without the stark contrast of light and shade. A visual softness that gently lulls the eyes and calms the mind. The contours of the landscape are subtly defined by changes in texture and slight variations in the blue light. A delicate play of gradients and tones, but never by sharp, delineating shadows that would normally give objects their defined forms. You might try raising your hand, turning it, observing how its form remains perfectly consistent, unmarred by the familiar dark outline, a phantom of what used to be, a curious sensation of lightness. This lack of shadows creates a peculiar sense of timelessness, a quiet uniformity where the sun's position no longer dictates the play of light and dark, where hours blend effortlessly into each other without visible markers of progression. It is a world suspended, softly illuminated from all directions at once, a gentle, encompassing glow that wraps everything in its serene embrace. You can feel the very air around you imbued with this quality, a lightness that defies the usual laws of perspective, making distances feel both near and far at once. This pervasive, subdued illumination remains constant, unchanging, a steady, unwavering presence that holds the world in a state of suspended animation. You observe it hour after hour, and there is no perceptible shift in its intensity. No subtle brightening as the sun climbs higher, no gentle dimming that marks its descent towards evening. The soft blue light does not brighten as the morning progresses, nor does it dim as the day wears on, reaching a peak, then slowly receding as all days have before. It simply is a steady, unwavering presence that bathes the world in its gentle embrace, as if held in a perpetual, quiet midday, an eternal, tranquil moment. There are no sudden bursts of brilliance, no fleeting glints of sun on water or metal, no dazzling reflections that might startle the eye or demand attention. Instead, a uniform. Still light settles over everything, creating a sense of deep calm and unchanging peace, a world frozen in a moment of serene contemplation, yet still subtly alive. The very air seems to hold this light, suspending it, allowing it to permeate every nook and cranny, every blade of grass, every pebble on the path, revealing their textures in a soft, even glow. This constancy is profoundly soothing, removing any urgency from the passage of time, any pressure to rush, any need to hurry. You don't feel the rush of the day, the pressure of tasks needing to be completed before dusk, the familiar pull of the setting sun urging you onward. Instead, each moment blends into the next, carried by the even flow of this quiet blue illumination, a continuous, seamless stream, a gentle current guiding your awareness. It's a light that encourages patience, fosters contemplation, and gently slows the rhythm of your thoughts, preparing them for a deep, tranquil rest, a gentle drifting into slumber. You might find yourself simply watching the dust motes suspended in the air within the blue light, dancing slowly, effortlessly, caught in an eternal gentle ballet, their movements mirroring the quiet unfurling of your own awareness. This unchanging light is a lullaby for the senses, inviting you to simply be in the soft azure glow, to release all tension and float effortlessly on the currents of its gentle calm. As this unusual day unfolds, your father, with his quiet strength and methodical ways, prepares for his tasks. You can feel the earth beneath your bare feet as you accompany him to the edge of the fields, a cool, somewhat damp sensation that grounds you to the familiar soil, connecting you deeply to the very land that sustains your family. Each step you take is deliberate, unhurried, as the soft azure light diffuses across the land, making the familiar contours of the fields appear subtly different, softer, as if painted with a gentle unifying brushstroke that smooths away any harsh lines. The cool air, still holding that unusual March crispness, brushes against your skin, a refreshing contrast to the warmth of your breath, a constant gentle reminder of the world's quiet transformation. You observe your father selecting his tools, his hands moving with a practiced ease, the worn wood of the plow handle smooth beneath his calloused grip, a testament to countless hours of honest labor. The subtle scent of damp earth, rich and fertile, rises around you, mingled with a faint, almost imperceptible aroma of dormant vegetation, a promise of growth that seems to hold its breath in this new light, a potential waiting patiently to unfurl. There is a deep, quiet reverence in his movements, an unspoken understanding between man and land, a silent conversation held in the steady rhythm of his actions. He pauses for a moment, letting his gaze sweep across the field, his eyes taking in every detail in the soft, even light. A moment of peaceful contemplation before the work begins. The rustle of dry leaves underfoot, a gentle whisper as you walk, seems amplified in the profound stillness, a soft, natural counterpoint to the quiet unfolding of the morning. Your father begins the work, and you hear the rhythmic sound of the plow breaking the soil, a soft, consistent thud and scrape that resonates with a peculiar clarity in the pervasive stillness. Each furrow is turned with the same precise, unhurried motion, the rich dark earth folding over itself in neat, even lines, revealing its deep, moist interior to the muted light. The plow moves slowly, steadily, guided by your father's experienced hands, creating a long, continuous ripple across the field, a wave of disturbed earth that quietly progresses across the landscape. You can almost feel the gentle resistance of the soil as it parts, the slow, deliberate effort involved in transforming the land, a tangible connection to the very act of cultivation. There is no frantic rush, no sense of urgency that often accompanies fieldwork under a brighter, more demanding sun, where shadows would shorten and lengthen, pushing the day forward. Instead, the pace is meditative, deliberate. Each pass of the plow a quiet act of patience and persistence, a rhythm that seems to perfectly align with the unchanging azure light above. The air is still, save for the gentle sounds of the earth being worked, a quiet symphony of cultivation that seems perfectly in tune with the muted light, a harmonious blend of effort and stillness. You watch the small clods of earth fall, one after another, their textures revealed in the even illumination, a quiet, continuous process, a slow unfolding of the earth's bounty. The scent of freshly turned earth, cool and mineral-rich, rises around you, a grounding aroma that speaks of life and growth, a quiet promise in the tranquil atmosphere. You might notice the tiny, glistening dewdrops still clinging to stray blades of grass, reflecting the blue light like miniature jewels, sparkling softly on the ground. Later, as you move to the garden, a smaller, more intimate space near the house, you observe the slow, patient process of tending to the smaller plants. Your mother, too, joins you, her hands moving with the same gentle precision, a quiet dance of nurturing. You might carefully pull a single persistent weed, feeling its fibrous roots reluctantly release their hold on the soil, the soft sound of earth shifting beneath your fingers. A tiny whisper of resistance. The young sprouts, usually eager to stretch towards the sun, seem to be holding their growth in abeyance, their green muted by the blue light, as if awaiting a signal that hasn't yet arrived, a brighter, warmer invitation. Every movement is deliberate, a quiet act of care, an investment in a future that remains subtly uncertain, a testament to hope and resilience that echoes through generations. There is no hurried snatching, no sudden tug, only a mindful engagement with the delicate life of the garden, a tender interaction with each tiny plant, a quiet conversation between hand and earth. The air is filled with the subtle scent of damp earth and the faint, fresh aroma of green leaves, a quiet perfume that accompanies the meticulous work, a natural fragrance of gentle growth that fills your senses. Even the insects that usually buzz around the plants seem quieter, their movements slower, as if they, too, are adjusting to the world's new pace, their tiny wings beating with a muted hum that barely registers. This is a time of quiet dedication, of repetitive, comforting motions that connect you deeply to the cycles of life, regardless of the light above, a timeless practice that soothes the spirit. You might trace the delicate veins of a leaf with your fingertip, feeling its smooth, cool surface, a small, tangible detail in the vastness of the quiet day, a microcosm of the larger world's peaceful existence. The soft soil yields easily to your touch, a gentle crumbling that feels deeply satisfying, as if you are participating in the earth's own quiet breathing, a silent, ancient rhythm. As the time for the midday meal approaches, the subtle coolness of the air seems to settle more deeply, yet the unchanging blue light provides a consistent, gentle illumination, creating a sense of timeless calm that pervades every moment. You observe your mother's meticulous process of extending the amount of grain for your daily bread, a practice born of necessity and wisdom passed down through generations. She carefully measures out the precious store of grain, her fingers moving with precision, feeling the dry, smooth texture of each kernel as it slides through her grasp, a quiet, repetitive motion. Then, with a slow, deliberate movement, she mixes in a generous portion of finely ground cornmeal, a less desirable but more abundant staple, its slightly rougher texture blending seamlessly with the smoother grain. The two different textures and colors swirl together in the large wooden bowl, gradually becoming a single, cohesive mixture under her patient, knowing hands, a quiet transformation. This isn't a hasty act, born of desperation, but a ritual of resourcefulness, ensuring that the limited supplies stretch to nourish everyone, a testament to her steady provision and the enduring spirit of your family. You can hear the soft, rustling sound of the grains as they combine, a quiet whisper in the calm air, a gentle sigh of blending ingredients, a sound almost like soft sand. The process is a steady, almost rhythmic unfolding, reflecting the unhurried nature of the day, each step a calm contribution to the well-being of the household, a mindful act of preparation. The air around the mixing bowl fills with the subtle, dusty scent of the grains, a wholesome aroma that promises sustenance, a comforting smell that signals an approaching meal. When the baking is complete, a loaf of bread with a slightly bitter taste is presented, a subtle difference from the usual, lighter grain bread you are accustomed to. The crust is still firm, holding the shape of the loaf perfectly, but perhaps it is a shade darker, reflecting the presence of the cornmeal, a visual cue of its unique composition that speaks of humble ingredients. Its aroma is earthy and rustic, mingled with the faint, comforting scent of the wood-fired oven, a warmth that still lingers within the bread itself, a deep, inviting warmth that touches your senses. You take a piece, feeling its coarse texture in your hand, the gentle warmth still lingering from the baking, a comforting heat that spreads through your palms, a tangible connection to the efforts that created it. When you taste it, the slight bitterness is there, an unfamiliar note, perhaps a fleeting surprise on your tongue. Yet it is quickly accepted, a simple reality of these altered times. There is no complaint, no question, only a quiet understanding and appreciation for the sustenance provided, a profound gratitude for the food on your table, for the life it brings. This is the bread of your family, now and always, and its taste, though different, brings the same profound comfort of a shared meal, a deep sense of connection to your kin, a bond strengthened by simple acts. The act of eating is slow, deliberate, each bite savored, each mouthful a quiet moment of gratitude, a mindful communion with the food and the quiet atmosphere, a profound stillness within yourself. You feel the slow, steady act of chewing, the quiet satisfaction that comes from nourishment, a primal contentment that settles deep within your body. The midday meal unfolds in a profound silence, a quiet acceptance that seems to deepen with each passing moment, enveloping everyone in its peaceful embrace. There are no boisterous conversations, no eager discussions about the day's events, no light-hearted banter that typically punctuates a family meal, no need for words. Instead, only the soft, gentle sound of chewing fills the small room, a consistent, unhurried rhythm that is almost meditative, a soft hum of life that is deeply calming. You might hear the faint clink of a wooden cup against the table as someone quietly takes a sip of water, a sound that resonates clearly in the hushed atmosphere, then fades back into the silence. Each member of the family sits with a calm composure, their gazes often drifting towards the small window, observing the unchanging blue light outside, or simply resting on their hands, finding peace in the quiet act of being, their eyes soft and reflective, embodying a tranquil state. This isn't a silence born of discomfort or tension, of words withheld or strained relations, but rather a shared understanding, a collective agreement to move through this altered reality with dignity and inner calm, a testament to their quiet resilience and shared strength. The absence of hurried words allows a deeper appreciation for the simple act of eating, for the warmth of the food as it settles in your stomach, and for the quiet presence of those around you, a comforting unspoken solidarity that needs no explanation. It's a silence that invites introspection, a gentle space where thoughts can drift freely, unburdened by external distractions, allowing the mind to wander into peaceful realms, where worries gently dissipate. The quiet is a comfort, a blanket that wraps around the family, fostering a sense of serene togetherness, a profound and tranquil bond that holds everyone in its embrace. Each breath taken is slow and measured, each swallow deliberate, contributing to the overall sense of tranquility, a gentle rhythm that soothes the soul and invites deep rest. The very air in the room feels thick with this peaceful quiet, a palpable presence that deepens the sense of calm, an almost tangible stillness. You might find your own thoughts settling, becoming softer, less insistent, as you absorb the profound stillness of this unusual day, letting go of all resistance. As the afternoon hours gently unfold under the unwavering azure light, you begin to perceive the subtle ways your community is adapting to this profound change. You observe neighbors engaged in familiar activities, yet with a distinct, unhurried pace, as if every motion is now imbued with a newfound slowness and grace. A woman sits on her doorstep, her back straight against the worn wood, steadily mending a fishing net. Her fingers move with practiced ease over the knotted twine, her gaze focused yet soft, as if lost in the repetitive nature of her task, finding solace in its rhythm. The soft thrum-thrum of the needle pulling through the mesh is almost a whisper in the quiet air, a rhythmic sound that seems to echo the steady beat of the day, a tiny, consistent pulse in the stillness. Across the way, a group of men is quietly preparing tools, perhaps sharpening an axe with slow, deliberate strokes against a whetstone, creating a fine edge. The gentle sh-sh-sh of metal on stone is not harsh or grating, but a low, consistent sound, a testament to careful craftsmanship and patient effort, a sound that harmonizes with the quiet. Their faces are calm, their expressions thoughtful, reflecting a quiet acceptance of the altered world, a shared understanding that needs no spoken words. There is no frantic haste, no hurried gestures, only a pervasive sense of methodical diligence, a calm dedication to their chores. The usual vibrant chatter and boisterous laughter that might fill a bustling village square are notably absent, replaced instead by a deeper, more introspective quiet, a collective contemplation that blankets the entire community. People move with a certain grace, their steps lighter, their voices softer when they do speak, almost as if respecting the profound stillness that permeates the very atmosphere, an unspoken agreement to maintain the peace. You feel a sense of shared experience, a quiet solidarity in this gentle adaptation, a silent bond that weaves through the community, connecting each individual. The light, though blue, illuminates every detail with a soft clarity, allowing you to observe these everyday moments with a heightened sense of awareness. Seeing the texture of worn fabric, the subtle lines of concentration on faces, the slow, rhythmic movements that define their day, a gentle dance of quiet activity. Even the scent of cooking from distant homes seems muted, softer, blending into the quiet air without sharp distinction, a subtle invitation to quietude. As you wander through the village, your senses attune to these subtle shifts in atmosphere. You might notice the village elder, a figure of quiet wisdom, sitting patiently by the communal well. His back is straight against the cool stone, his hands resting calmly in his lap, palms open, a posture of perfect repose and inner peace. His gaze sweeps slowly and deliberately across the scene, taking in every nuance of the quiet day, nothing escaping his gentle observation. He is not speaking, not advising, not directing, but simply being, his presence a quiet anchor in the altered landscape, a source of unwavering calm for all who glimpse him. His eyes, though aged with the wisdom of many seasons, hold a deep understanding, reflecting a lifetime of observing the subtle rhythms of nature and the resilient spirit of your people. A profound knowing that transcends words and speaks directly to the soul. Children, usually full of boundless energy that would have them racing through the paths, are playing close to their homes. Their games quieter than usual, almost hushed whispers of activity. You might see them arranging small, smooth stones into intricate patterns on the packed earth, or carefully weaving strands of grass into delicate braids. Their young voices hushed, their laughter soft and infrequent, blending into the ambient stillness like gentle breezes through distant reeds. They seem to absorb the world's quietude, their play mirroring the contemplative mood of the adults, learning from the pervasive peace. The soft azure light softens their features, lending an almost dreamlike quality to their innocent concentration, making them appear as figures in a gentle, waking dream. The air around them is still, disturbed only by their gentle movements, creating tiny eddies of settled dust that catch the blue light, dancing for a moment before settling back to rest. This communal quiet is not a suppression of joy or a lack of vitality, but a natural resonance with the profound peace that has descended upon the world, an embracing of stillness. You feel a comforting sense of interconnectedness, a shared rhythm of existence that binds everyone in the village, a silent understanding that transcends individual concerns and fosters a deep sense of belonging. This quiet harmony is a powerful, unspoken affirmation that even in the face of the unfamiliar, life continues with steady grace, a resilient flow that adapts to every change, finding beauty in the new normal. The distant sounds of chickens softly clucking, or a dog sighing contentedly in its sleep, add to the tapestry of subtle sounds, barely noticeable, yet contributing to the overall tranquility, a perfect backdrop for gentle rest. As the hours continue to drift by, each one melting seamlessly into the next, you find yourself observing the subtle hints that mark the passage of time in this unchanging blue world. The hunger in your stomach, which began as a faint whisper, becomes a gentle, undeniable presence, a quiet reminder that despite the altered light, your body still adheres to its ancient internal rhythms of sustenance and rest. This sensation is not sharp or demanding, but a soft, internal nudge, a natural signal from within, a biological clock ticking softly in the pervasive stillness. You might notice the slight chill deepening in the air, a gradual descent of temperature that subtly shifts the atmosphere, making the warmth of your rough-spun tunic feel even more comforting, a welcome embrace against the encroaching coolness. The way the light, though always blue, seems to soften its intensity just a fraction, becoming a deeper, more profound shade of azure, hints at the day's gentle progression towards its quiet close. It's a change so subtle, so imperceptible to the untrained eye, that you might question if it's truly happening, or if your eyes are simply adjusting to the prolonged exposure to the unique light. Yet it is undeniably there, a quiet fading that speaks of time passing, a subtle deepening of the sky's hue, a gentle descent into profound tranquility. You sense a shared inclination among the villagers to begin winding down their daily activities, a subtle shift in their movements towards the quiet preparations for evening. without the urgency typically brought by a dramatic, fiery sunset. There is no urgency in these changes, no visible haste, only a soft, unhurried transition, a graceful yielding to the natural flow of this unique day. The air takes on a velvety quality, softer, cooler, hinting at the approaching rest, a gentle caress on your skin. As you turn towards home, your steps measured and unhurried, reflecting the world's calm pace. The blue light outside your window appears to deepen, becoming richer and more concentrated. A profound indigo that slowly permeates your small dwelling. It flows in through every crack and crevice, every open seam, painting the interior with hushed, tranquil tones that soothe the mind. The few pieces of furniture within your home, the sturdy wooden table where meals are shared, the low stool by the hearth where stories are told in quiet murmurs, the woven baskets holding the fruits of the land, are now bathed in this deeper, richer hue. Their forms softened and diffused, taking on an almost velvety quality, their edges gently blurred into the ambient blue. The familiar straw mattress, with its earthy scent of dry stalks, seems to absorb this deep blue, becoming a gentle haven of cool, hushed comfort, an inviting space for slumber. The warmth of the hearth, which earlier radiated a gentle glow and provided central warmth, now seems to stand out more prominently against the cool, pervasive blue light, a beacon of contained warmth in the growing depth of the azure, a comforting contrast that draws your gaze. You might reach out and touch the cool, smooth surface of the wooden wall beside your bed, feeling the grain beneath your fingertips, connecting you to the solid, ancient presence of your home as it too embraces the deepening light, a sense of deep-rootedness and belonging. The silence that has characterized this entire day also deepens, becoming an almost palpable presence, absorbing every faint sound, making the world outside seem to hold its breath in collective anticipation of the coming peace. It is a profound quiet that invites introspection, a gentle drawing inward as the day prepares to merge into the gentle slumber of night, a perfect transition from waking calm to peaceful rest. The very air around you feels dense with this quietude, a comforting pressure that helps to quiet your own internal chatter, bringing a sense of profound stillness. This deepening of the blue light is not a shift into darkness, but rather a gentle transition to a deeper shade of azure, a deepening of blue that feels infinitely peaceful, as if the sky itself is preparing for a long, serene sleep. It is not the sudden descent of night, not the harsh blackness of a moonless sky that would hide all features, forcing an abrupt change, but a soft, gradual increase in the intensity of the blue, like watching dye slowly, gracefully spread through clear water. You can still see clearly. Every detail within the room is rendered in various tones of this pervasive hue, from pale blue-gray to deep, profound indigo, creating a rich tapestry of shades that dance gently before your eyes. The world outside remains visible through the cracks in the shutters, now a vast, quiet canvas painted in endless shades of blue, stretching towards a distant, unseen horizon, a boundless expanse of calm. This serene transition encourages a final, gentle slowing of your thoughts, a letting go of any lingering concerns from the day, allowing them to dissolve effortlessly into the quiet blue. Like wisps of smoke, you feel your eyelids growing heavy, a pleasant weight after hours spent observing this unique, tranquil world, a natural sign of approaching slumber, an invitation to close your eyes. The air, still cool, carries the faint, comforting scent of wood smoke, a reminder of the steady hearth and the warmth it offers, a subtle, grounding aroma that promises safety. There is no need for artificial light. The deepening azure provides a soft, pervasive glow that guides your movements and soothes your eyes, making every action feel effortless and graceful. You prepare for rest with a sense of quiet contentment, knowing that this blue day will gently usher in a blue night, a continuous flow of hushed tranquility, an unbroken cycle of peace that cradles you. The very thought of this unbroken blue, this constant, gentle light, deepens your sense of calm and safety, inviting a profound and effortless drift into sleep, a quiet surrender to the quiet blue. You might take one last deep breath, inhaling the cool, soft air, feeling its gentle coolness fill your lungs. And as you exhale, feel every last trace of tension leave your body, melting away into the enveloping azure, leaving you utterly at peace, as the profound blue of the day deepens further, drawing your family closer together within the soft embrace of your home. The evening settles into a quiet, familiar rhythm. You find yourself listening intently as your mother begins to tell a story, her voice a soft, steady murmur that flows through the stillness. It's not a tale of dramatic adventure or heroic feat, but a simple narrative, perhaps of a long-ago harvest, or the quiet patience required for a successful season of planting. Her words weave a tapestry of everyday life, filled with details of familiar chores and the subtle beauty of nature, much like the day you have just experienced. The sound of her voice is a gentle current, carrying your mind effortlessly along, a soothing melody that requires no intense focus, only a quiet receptiveness. You might feel the soft and uneven texture of the simple woven blanket around your shoulders, its warmth a gentle comfort against the cool air that now permeates the room, offering a small, personal sanctuary. The air itself seems to hold her words, suspending them in the deepening blue light, giving them a timeless quality, as if they have always existed in this tranquil space. This storytelling is not for entertainment in the usual sense, but a continuation of the day's calm, a gentle way to bind the family together in shared memory and quiet reflection, strengthening their unspoken connection. You might close your eyes for a moment, letting the images conjured by her voice form softly in your mind, like brushstrokes on a canvas of quiet contemplation, without effort or strain. The subtle scent of the hearth, a mix of lingering wood smoke and warm ash, adds another layer of sensory comfort to this peaceful scene, a grounding aroma that settles your senses further. You feel a deep, comforting sense of tradition, of generations linked by these quiet shared moments. The stories continue, flowing one into another, and you become aware of the subtle, almost imperceptible hum of insect life outside. It's not the vibrant, buzzing chorus of a summer night, filled with 1,000 tiny sounds, but a fainter, more ethereal sound, a quiet, consistent murmur that seems to resonate with the overall stillness of the azure world. You might imagine tiny, unseen wings beating softly, creating a collective vibration that barely registers yet is undeniably present, weaving itself into the fabric of the deepening blue night, a delicate living thread in the quiet. It's a sound that suggests life continuing, quietly, persistently, beneath the extraordinary light, an enduring pulse of nature. This gentle hum becomes a natural background to your mother's voice, a soft, constant counterpoint that deepens the sense of peace, enhancing the overall tranquility of the moment. You might feel a gentle current of cool air wafting through a small crack in the wall, carrying with it this faint hum, a breath from the world beyond your dwelling, a subtle invitation from the outside. The sound is so subtle that it requires no attention, but rather invites a gentle awareness, a quiet recognition of the intricate quietude of nature, reminding you of the vast, peaceful world beyond your walls. It's a sound that doesn't demand, but simply is, much like the blue light itself, existing in perfect harmony with everything else. You feel your muscles relaxing further, a gradual loosening of any remaining tension in your body, as if the gentle hum is massaging away any lingering discomfort, allowing you to sink deeper into comfort. This quiet symphony of human voice and natural sound creates a cocoon of tranquility, a perfectly safe space for your mind to unwind and drift. Protected from all disturbance, the air itself feels softer, somehow, carrying these gentle sounds with a delicate weight, as if they are part of the very fabric of the hushed atmosphere. Beyond the low hum of the insects, you might perceive the softest rustle of leaves in the distant trees, a sound almost like a whisper, barely discernible against the profound quiet of the night. It's not the vigorous sway of branches in a strong wind, where leaves would clap together loudly, but a tender, almost hesitant movement, as if the trees themselves are breathing softly in their sleep. Dreaming quiet dreams. This faint sound adds another layer to the quiet tapestry of the night, a subtle reminder of the vast natural world existing peacefully beyond your home. A world that continues its gentle life regardless of the unique light. The sound is so delicate that it almost feels imagined, a fleeting impression rather than a distinct noise. Yet it adds to the undeniable presence of the world beyond your walls, enriching the stillness. It's a reminder that even in this altered reality, the natural world continues its quiet existence, its rhythm subtly adjusted but ever present, a constant, comforting truth. You feel a gentle breeze, so light it barely stirs the air, carrying the faint scent of damp earth and distant dormant foliage, a natural perfume that enhances the calm and grounds you to the land. This combination of sounds, your mother's voice, the insect hum, the rustle of leaves, creates a deeply immersive experience, drawing you deeper into the peaceful moment, a journey into profound relaxation. It is a quiet meditation, a journey into the heart of stillness, where external distractions fade away, and only the gentle, soothing sounds remain, guiding your thoughts towards rest, gently lulling you. The coolness of the air is constant, but now it feels like a soft caress rather than a mere presence, adding to the pervasive sense of comfort, a gentle embrace for your entire being. As the last story gently fades into the quiet air, its final words dissolving into the stillness, a profound sense of tranquility settles upon the room, a tangible presence that fills every corner. You find yourself drawing a deep, slow breath, feeling the cool, quiet air fill your lungs completely, and as you exhale, you feel your entire being relax further, sinking deeper into comfort. You sense the familiar rhythm of your own slow, steady breathing, each inhalation a gentle intake of the quiet blue air, cool and fresh, each exhalation a soft, complete release of any lingering tension, a gentle sigh of contentment. This breath becomes an anchor, a quiet, consistent pulse that grounds you in the moment, a gentle wave that carries you deeper into relaxation, rocking you softly. The sound of your own breath, subtle and even, joins the symphony of quiet that fills the room, adding another layer to the pervasive calm, a personal contribution to the peace. You can almost feel the gentle expansion and contraction of your chest, a soft, reassuring movement that speaks of life's simple, enduring rhythm, a quiet testament to your existence. This deep connection to your breath allows your thoughts to become softer, less insistent, gently drifting like clouds in the azure sky, unburdened and free, floating without purpose. The blue light, though deep, still provides enough illumination to discern the outlines of the room, a gentle glow that cradles you without shadows, making familiar shapes seem softly blurred. With each passing moment, you feel a profound sense of weightlessness beginning to envelop your body, a sensation unlike any you've known before. It is as if the gentle blue light itself is lifting you, supporting you, dissolving any physical tension or heaviness that might have clung to your muscles. Your limbs feel lighter, your muscles releasing their hold completely. A subtle sense of floating on a calm, deep blue current, adrift in perfect peace. You might feel a pleasant tingling sensation, a gentle warmth spreading slowly through your extremities, a soft, comforting wave of relaxation that washes over you from head to toe. This feeling is not disorienting, but utterly peaceful, a quiet liberation from the pull of gravity, a freedom you never knew you craved. The straw mattress beneath you, though still tangible, seems to offer less resistance, becoming softer, more yielding, as if it too is part of this gentle upward drift, cushioning your descent into calm. The cool air against your skin feels like a soft caress, adding to the sensation of being suspended in a tranquil space, a gentle embrace. You feel deeply secure, as if cradled by the very essence of this blue night, a sense of safety that allows for complete surrender, for letting go of everything. This profound weightlessness is an invitation, a gentle beckoning towards deeper rest, a sweet prelude to slumber, a quiet promise of restorative sleep. As this sensation of lightness grows, becoming all-encompassing, you become aware of a growing desire to close your eyes and fully surrender to the deepening blue. Your eyelids feel pleasantly heavy, a gentle weight that encourages them to draw shut, not as an effort, but as a natural, unhurried progression, a gentle closing. The world beyond your eyelids, the soft, shifting blue, seems to recede, replaced by an inner landscape of quiet, peaceful imagery, a canvas for your serene thoughts. You might imagine floating on a tranquil blue lake under an endless blue sky, or drifting gently through a sky of endless azure, carried by an unseen, gentle breeze that whispers peace. This desire is not a struggle against wakefulness, but a welcoming embrace of rest, a natural inclination towards the quietude of sleep, a quiet calling. You feel a deep sense of peace settling over your entire being, a quiet contentment that fills every cell, every fiber of your body, from your toes to the crown of your head. The last vestiges of any daily concern or thought gently dissipate, dissolving effortlessly into the pervasive blue calm, like mist in the morning sun. You are completely enveloped, utterly safe, in this serene, weightless space, held gently and securely. The silence, so profound throughout the day, now seems to cradle you entirely, absorbing every remaining whisper of sound, leaving only a perfect hushed tranquility that wraps around you like a soft blanket. This is the culmination of the azure day, the gentle invitation into the deepest, most restorative sleep, a quiet journey into the very heart of peace, a journey without end. You feel yourself drifting, effortlessly, gracefully, into the profound embrace of the blue night, carried by its gentle, unwavering current deeper and deeper, until consciousness softly fades, leaving only peace. As you drift within the profound depths of the blue night, time seems to lose its rigid structure, flowing instead like a calm, wide river, unhurried and ceaseless, its gentle currents carrying you without effort, without demand. You are suspended in a state of tranquil slumber, where the edges of dreams and waking blur into a seamless, uncomforting expanse, a realm of pure, unblemished peace. Your consciousness, though at rest, holds a gentle awareness of your surroundings, a soft internal hum that resonates with the pervasive calm, a quiet echo of the world's serenity. You begin to notice, with a subtle shift in your inner perception, the unique way the azure light interacts with the textures within your dwelling, creating a mesmerizing interplay of illumination and shadow that is unlike anything you have ever experienced. This is not the harsh, defined contrast of a sunlit day or the stark, impenetrable darkness of a moonless night, but a nuanced dance where soft gradients of blue define every surface, every curve, every line with an ethereal clarity. You might visualize the rough hand-hewn beams of your ceiling, aged by countless seasons, their imperfections softened by the ambient glow. Each knot and fissure rendered in a slightly darker shade of indigo against the lighter expanse of the wood, forming a silent, intricate pattern above you. The woven wall hangings, usually vibrant with earthly dyes and depicting scenes of daily life, now present a symphony of muted blues, their intricate patterns becoming almost sculptural, their threads absorbing and reflecting the light in countless subtle variations, creating a living tapestry of shade. You sense the slight, almost imperceptible shift in temperature as the deep blue permeates every fiber of your home, making the cool stone of the hearth feel like a gentle anchor, a grounding presence in the floating blue, while the wooden floorboards, worn smooth by generations of footsteps, emit a sense of grounded tranquility, their individual grains emphasized by the soft, uneven light, inviting a quiet appreciation for their enduring strength. This particular quality of light bestows a dreamlike clarity upon your surroundings, allowing you to perceive familiar objects with a newfound serenity, almost as if seeing them for the very first time in their most peaceful state, purified by the blue. The very air seems to hold this blue, giving it a tactile quality, like a fine, cool mist settling gently over everything, dissolving sharp edges and inviting profound rest, a soft embrace for your senses. The simple, unadorned clay pots on a nearby shelf, usually humble and unnoticed, now possess a quiet dignity, their rounded forms outlined by faint, luminous edges, transforming them into silent, artistic presences. You can almost feel the smooth, cool surface of a ceramic bowl, even from a distance, just by observing how the light caresses its form, revealing its subtle imperfections as part of its unique beauty. This sustained observation, unhurried and peaceful, allows your mind to deepen its state of rest, moving beyond mere sleep into a profound, meditative calm. Within this serene blue glow, your senses, though dulled by sleep, become acutely attuned to the micro-sounds of your dwelling, sounds so faint that they are typically lost in the clamor of a normal day, unnoticed amidst the rush, but are now amplified by the pervasive stillness, becoming distinct whispers in the quiet. You might discern the soft, almost inaudible creak of a roof beam settling slightly, a gentle murmur of the house breathing around you, a slow, living entity protecting you. It's a sound that speaks of the building's age, of countless nights it has stood sentinel, offering shelter and comfort, a silent witness to generations. This tiny sound resonates with the deep quiet, becoming a gentle lullaby, a testament to enduring stability, a constant subtle reminder of security. You might then hear the delicate scratch, scratch, scratch of a tiny mouse, perhaps foraging silently in the straw of the wall, its minuscule movements made audible by the profound absence of other noise, a tiny life continuing its quiet existence. This small, natural sound is not alarming, not a source of disturbance, but simply a part of the living tapestry of your home, a gentle reminder of the quiet life that continues around you, unbothered by the blue light, existing in harmony. Perhaps you hear the softest sigh of the embers in the hearth, a tiny exhalation of warmth and fading light, a barely audible whisper of the dying fire, a final gentle breath before complete rest. These sounds are so subtle, so interwoven with the quiet, that they become part of the experience of deep rest. Gentle anchors in the vast ocean of blue, preventing your mind from drifting too far. You feel completely secure, knowing that even these smallest movements are part of the harmonious existence within this unique world. A safe, contained universe. The very dust motes, caught in the imperceptible currents of air within the room, create the faintest whoosh as they drift, a sound that might only be perceived in the deepest silence, a delicate dance of light and air. This profound auditory landscape invites you to surrender further, allowing your mind to recognize these tiny details as part of a larger, gentle continuum, encouraging an even deeper state of slumber, a complete release into tranquility. The slow, rhythmic dripping of a small leak from the roof into a clay pot, normally a nuisance, now becomes a soothing plink, 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 a steady beat in the stillness, contributing to the symphony of calm. As your mind floats in this sea of quietude, a new layer of sensory detail begins to unfold, deepening your immersion. You become aware of the subtle scents carried on the undisturbed air within your home. Aromas so faint they would be undetectable in a bustling daytime environment, but now distinct in the pervasive stillness. The predominant scent might be the comforting, earthy aroma of the dried straw from your mattress, a deep, grounding smell that speaks of the land and honest simplicity, a natural, calming presence. Interwoven with this, you might detect the faint sweet scent of dried herbs, perhaps lavender or chamomile, tucked into a sachet near your head, their calming properties subtly released into the cool, blue air, a gentle, natural perfume. This gentle fragrance is a testament to the care taken in preparing your space for rest, a small, thoughtful gesture from a long-ago hand, connecting you to generations past. Then, there is the lingering, almost ghost-like scent of wood smoke from the hearth, a comforting reminder of warmth and communal gatherings, a deep, primal aroma that grounds you, a scent of home and security. These are not sharp or overwhelming smells, but soft, diffused notes, blending seamlessly with the pervasive blue light to create an atmosphere of profound tranquility, a gentle embrace for your olfactory senses. You might even detect the subtle, clean scent of worn linen, the fabric of your tunic or the simple blanket, a scent that speaks of familiarity and countless moments of rest, a quiet assurance of comfort. These gentle aromas deepen your immersion in this historical moment, transporting you more fully into the sensory world of the past, making the experience incredibly vivid yet peaceful. You feel your breath drawing these calming scents deep into your lungs, each inhalation a refreshing wave of peace, each exhalation a complete release of any remaining tension, a gentle sigh of contentment. This rich, yet subdued sensory tapestry creates an ideal environment for profound rest, ensuring that every aspect of your awareness is soothed and calmed, leading you further into the quiet depths of sleep, a truly restorative slumber. The faint, sweet smell of dried apples hanging from a hook near the doorway, a simple provision, adds another layer of homely comfort, a subtle invitation to quiet reflection. As the hours continue their soft, unhurried progression within the unchanging blue light, your body begins its natural, slow journey towards wakefulness, a gentle unfolding rather than an abrupt transition, a gradual return to conscious awareness. You sense a gradual lightening of the pressure against your eyelids, as if a subtle internal light is encouraging them to stir, rather than an external brightness forcing them open. This feeling is like a gentle lifting, an invitation to return to awareness without urgency or effort, a beckoning towards the new day. Your body feels perfectly supported, the sensation of weightlessness from your deeper slumber slowly transforming into a comfortable, yielding presence against the straw mattress, perfectly molded to your form. You might notice the slight indentation your body has made, the gentle embrace of the fibers around you, a sensation of being perfectly nestled and secure, a feeling of belonging. This slow, natural process allows your consciousness to re-emerge gradually, without shock or interruption, a smooth, fluid transition from dreams to the azure reality. The subtle shifts in the ambient blue light continue, now moving from a deep sapphire to a lighter, more ethereal azure, a truly unique dawn that bathes everything in its gentle glow. Your mind, refreshed and clear, accepts this transition with profound ease, knowing that there is no rush, only the peaceful continuation of time. As this internal and external lightness grows, you become aware of a renewed sense of the quiet life outside your dwelling, a world that has continued its gentle routines through the blue night and into the azure morning, a testament to enduring life. Through the small, carefully crafted wooden shutters, which are now perhaps slightly ajar to allow for the faintest breath of air, you perceive the subtle, shifting blues outside. You might catch a glimpse of the village path, worn smooth by generations of footsteps, now appearing as a ribbon of soft indigo against lighter blue-gray fields, stretching peacefully into the distance. There is no bustling activity, no hurried footsteps that would jar your senses. But you might discern the slow, deliberate movement of a solitary figure, perhaps an early riser heading towards the communal well for the day's water. Their movements a quiet dance. Their silhouette is soft, almost dreamlike, against the pervasive blue. Their movements a testament to the unhurried pace of life in this unique world. You hear the faint, rhythmic sound of a distant hand mill, the slow grinding of grain being prepared for the day's bread, a testament to daily sustenance unfolding without haste, a reassuring sound of continuity. This sound, normally a background noise, is now clear and distinct in the profound quiet, a reassuring symbol of continuity and simple, enduring life. You might also hear the soft, almost lazy moo of a cow from a nearby pasture, a gentle call that echoes slightly in the still, blue air, a quiet affirmation of the natural world's rhythms and presence. This awareness of the slow, unfolding life outside your window deepens your sense of belonging, connecting you to the enduring, tranquil existence of your community in this unique world. A profound sense of shared calm. The air entering through the shutters carries the subtle, fresh scent of distant damp earth and newly awakened foliage, a clean, invigorating aroma that signals a new cycle, a fresh beginning within the blue. You might even hear the rustle of straw as a nearby hen shifts, or the soft cooing of doves settling on a rooftop, tiny sounds that weave into the ambient peace, creating a living, breathing soundscape of tranquility. Your attention might then be drawn to the simple, functional objects within your room, now seen with fresh eyes in the clear, stable azure light, their forms and textures revealed in new ways, as if imbued with a new essence. The clay water jug, standing near the hearth, usually appears as a dull brown, but now it is a deep, rich blue, its unglazed surface revealing a subtle texture, almost like velvet in the soft light, inviting a gentle touch. You might trace its gentle curve with your mind's eye, appreciating its simple utility and timeless design, a testament to human ingenuity. The rough-spun tunic, laid out neatly for the day on a nearby chest, now presents a tapestry of indigo hues, the imperfections in its weave creating minute patterns of lighter and darker blue, inviting a quiet appreciation for its handcrafted beauty and the warmth it promises. The small wooden bowl, carved from a single piece of oak, resting on your bedside mat, appears smoother, its subtle grain accentuated by the cool light, a testament to the artisan's patient work and connection to nature. You notice the light playing across the small, worn leather pouch hanging from a hook on the wall, its stitches appearing more prominent in the even blue light, a simple container for precious herbs or trinkets, holding quiet stories. Every object, from the low, sturdy stool to the woven straw mat on the floor, takes on a sculptural quality, their forms simplified and purified by the pervasive blue, each detail contributing to the overall sense of calm and visual harmony. This visual clarity, and unburdened by the harsh contrasts of other light, allows for a deep, meditative observation of the ordinary, revealing its inherent beauty and timelessness. The quietness within the room is profound, broken only by the gentle rhythm of your own breath, and perhaps the faint distant sounds from outside, creating a perfectly harmonious environment for gentle contemplation and peaceful re-entry into the day. You might notice the subtle shine on a small, worn metal clasp on a wooden box, a tiny point of silver-blue luminescence in the serene light. As your awareness continues to deepen, you find yourself lingering in this quiet, blue-tinged morning, observing these everyday details with profound serenity and a sense of deep gratitude. You notice the delicate interplay of light and shadow created by the blue illumination, a soft dance that defines the contours of your room, giving depth to flatness. The areas closest to the window are awash in a luminous, translucent sapphire, a vibrant yet gentle glow, while the corners of the room recede into deeper, more profound indigos, creating a subtle depth and dimension that is both mysterious and comforting, like gentle folds in a vast blue fabric. There are no stark lines, no harsh boundaries, only a seamless transition from one shade of blue to another, like the gentle undulations of a calm ocean, endlessly shifting yet always tranquil. You might trace the path of the light as it falls upon the polished surface of a wooden spoon resting on the table, creating a faint, cool gleam, a subtle highlight against the darker wood, drawing your eye to its simple perfection. The texture of the plastered walls, usually a plain off-white, now reveal countless tiny imperfections and irregularities, each one catching the blue light differently, creating a rich, subtle topography of texture that invites closer inspection. Even the threads of a small, forgotten spiderweb in a corner near the ceiling catch the light, transforming into delicate, shimmering filaments of pure blue, a tiny, intricate wonder in the hushed space, a testament to the smallest forms of life. This consistent, pervasive blue light casts no hard shadows, but rather soft, diffused areas of deeper tone, lending a sense of gentle mystery and infinite depth to everything, making the familiar profound. This unique visual experience deepens your sense of tranquility, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary, simply through the absence of conventional light, allowing you to see with a new clarity. You feel a quiet contentment, a profound peace that permeates your entire being as you slowly and gently greet this unique, blue-tinged day, fully accepting its beauty. Your breath continues its gentle, steady rhythm, a silent partner in your quiet observation, grounding you in the present moment of azure beauty, connecting you to your inner self. You feel completely present, completely calm, ready to simply be in this blue world. There is no clock to rush you, no harsh sun to demand your labor. Only the gentle, persistent blue inviting a slow, thoughtful beginning to your day. This pervasive tranquility seeps into your very bones, leaving you utterly relaxed, yet gently aware. You might close your eyes for just a moment longer, not out of drowsiness, but to savor the feeling of this peace, to imprint the sensation of the soft blue light and deep quiet onto your memory, before fully opening them and embracing the day's gentle, blue unfolding, the sheer expanse of time stretching before you, imbued with this serene blue, feels like an endless opportunity for quiet existence, for gentle living. You are utterly at ease, floating in a sea of azure peace.